All right, we're back. I hope. If you watch the first video, it ends at about 6 minutes 9 seconds because my internet decides it hates me today. So, a recap of the first episode in case you just want to watch this one. I talked about how sometimes I do better work when I'm sick for whatever reason, how I am a scruffy, nasty mess because I have my clothes on inside out because it's a work sweatshirt. It's on purpose, if you're wondering why it's inside out, and how sometimes voice dictation doesn't work that great in Macs. And the way you can make a Mac dictate better is to either dictate straight into a text box and then copy and paste into your into your Word or Scrivener or whatever, or you can. What I've had recently work well for me for Mac is um, speaking more slowly, and all of the voice dictation programs say just talk naturally. Well, when I'm talking naturally and I get excited about a story, I speak really fast. It can't handle it. It screws it all up. But if I kind of talk a little bit more methodical and almost like a robot and try to enunciate the words very clearly, it seems to do better. They say don't do that because then your Dragon dictation program will learn that it'll think that's the way you talk and whatever. So that's all fine and dandy. My experience is speak more clearly than you normally would when you are dictating because the computer will love you. So I've been using that straight into my Scrivener documents. It's been working pretty good. It's slower than just talking at my normal fast rate of speech, but I don't have any repetitive typing injuries as much. It gives me some relief from that. It's a good thing. And the reason I first did dictation was to teach myself to think a little bit differently. It's more of a mental exercise than a productivity thing, and I still think that's good. It's great for dialogue and stuff like that. So anyway, without ado, one of the things I have a hard time with is I work a lot, I drive a lot. I am always looking for some productivity type things. So you can see that I'm not very technical. So I'm going to leave this document. I'm going to start a new document, I guess. And this is Dragon Anywhere. It's a subscription fee. It's like $16 a month. I was pretty tight for cash. I almost dropped it. And then I messed some things up after I got a credit card stolen and almost was forced to drop it because it wouldn't renew the subscription fee. But now it's working. Excuse me. Like I said, I got a little bit of a head cold. So is it worth $16 a month? And kind of not so much. I'm trying to really, I have lots of all those little expenses add up. And if you want to be a successful full-time writer, you got to watch your expenses. I don't care how good you're doing, they will catch up on you. Like for example, in 2017, I relaunched all of my urban fantasy Son of a Dragon Slayer books, and I bought new book covers for them. I bought a new one for my werewolf series I was starting and for a bunch of other stuff, and I spent an enormous amount of money. I love the book covers, but that's hard to make back when you dump that much all at once. So those expenses will add up. So anyway, Dragon dictation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start a new document, and it's real simple. I can't really show you because I'm not good at screen shares. We'll see. We'll play with that. Maybe on another video I'll practice doing screen shares. So basically I start a new document in Dragon Anywhere, and it's a text box. You can't do italics. You can do bolds kind of. And then what works best is you do your voice dictation like on your phone is where I use Dragon Anywhere for. There's not really much else no other reason to use it. If you're at home, just use Dragon dictation. It's more powerful. But if I'm sitting someplace in my car where I have to wait 5 or 10 minutes and it's literally just dead time, I can pop that document up. I'll look at my bullet points. This is where outlining is useful. And I can do some dictation. And then later what I do is I cut and paste it into my notepad on my phone, which is called Memo, because that's the closest thing I can find to a text editor. I paste it in there, I cut it back out of there, and then I drop it into a Google Doc, and that strips out some of the annoying formatting problems you get if you just go straight. I have on Google Docs, like Pro Writing Aid and things like that. I can edit it, I can format it, I can make headings and stuff for navigation, and then I can either dump it down into a Word document or put it into Scrivener. Depends. So step one, I go into Scrivener on my computer. I write some of the story. I make this outline as good as I'm going to get. Then I compile that from Scrivener. I put that into Google Doc. I cut and paste that into dragging it anywhere on my phone. But that's not what I'm going to do today. Today I'm going to dictate into my phone. So we'll try this. Open square bracket. This is the first story beat. Close square bracket. New paragraph. Open square bracket. Protagonist sees a bank robbery. And if you could see what I see, you'll gonna stop it. For some reason, it didn't like protagonist and it put attacking. So I'll just highlight it and then I'll protagonist. Okay, it got it that time. All right, I'm going to go to one of my other documents where I have some notes, just because I think it'll be more interesting and useful than me trying to wing it while I have a cold and I'm not thinking. So, yeah, you can't really see it. So I have the square brackets is something I learned from Richard Fox, and it's something for outlining. You can search for the square brackets when you're editing to make sure you don't leave any of your story beats in the final draft, which would be embarrassing when it gets published, right? Because that can happen even with several rounds of editing. Stuff like that slips through sometimes. So I'm going to scroll down here. This is a bunch of stuff I've written already. And then I'm going to, I wrote a lot yesterday. Yeah, I'm sorry. That story is not going to make any sense. I'm going to just wing it and go back to where I was before. So I'll go new paragraph. And let's do the, I'll just tell a story from the Michael Prim universe. It's the Son of a Dragon Slayer. It's off the top of my head. Michael Prim slipped out of the squad room without getting stuck with a partner, period. Since the last incident, his sergeant had been trying to put him with a babysitter almost every day, period. He'd taken this job to catch bad guys, arrest bank robbers, things like that, period. New paragraph. The incident from the day before wasn't really his fault, period. Or that's what he told himself, period. So then I'll copy that out of there. But one of the things I also do is I use voice at read aloud. It's an app, reads it back to you. And then when for some reason, on accident, I set my phone up, anything I copy on my phone, it automatically puts it in the Read Aloud app and then reads it to me. So I had to make sure the volume's down. But in this case, one of the things I would do is I would have my phone read it back to me, and I could catch obvious mistakes while I'm driving home from work or something, or driving to work or whatever. So copy it. Lots of technical problems today. So it didn't do it automatically because it's a long story, but so I'm going to paste text.
Michael Prim slipped out of this one room without getting stuck with a partner. Since the last incident, his sergeant had been trying to put him with a babysitter almost every day. He'd taken this job to catch bad guys, arrest bank robbers, things like that. The incident from the day before wasn't really his fault, or that's what he told himself. There are no more articles to read.
Okay, so if you look at that, you can see it says, you heard what I read the first time, but what Voice Anywhere or Dragon Anywhere heard me say in this case was Michael Prim slipped out of this one room, that should be this squad room, without getting stuck with a partner. Since the last incident, his sergeant had been trying to put him with a babysitter almost every day. He'd taken this, so it should be he had taken this job to catch bad guys, or maybe he took this job. You can catch that during edits. So, what's that, a 90-95% accuracy rate? It works okay, not for everyone. So that's my little demo of Dragon Anywhere. So I'll do another one another time. I'll be more prepared. I'll have some notes, and I'll probably title that video blog, Scott Doesn't Screw Up This Video Blog, or something like that. So anyway, this is it. Sorry about my internet crashing halfway through the first part. I really did have my act together, but then it all went the wrong way. So that's my video blog for today. I hope that you're having a great day. I hope you're not sick. And I hope that if you have questions about using voice dictation, get a hold of me, email or on Facebook at the Scott Moon group. And we can talk about it, and I'll help when I can. Not an expert, but I do have a little bit of practice with it. So be safe, have a great day, and take care.